Hi, my name is Sarah. Most of you know me as Suchikuchi. I stream regularly on a broadcasting platform called twitch.tv. In the creative section, my Twitch channel name is twitch.tv/Suchikuchi. I'm also the owner and creator of Soulbound Leather. I work with leather daily, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a very simple leather pumpkin. This is an easy project that any beginning leatherworker can do. This leather pumpkin kit is available at my store at soulboundleather.com and soulboundleather.etsy.com. The kit comes with everything that you will need to build the pumpkin. It comes with an 8x8 vegetable tanned piece of leather and 5 to 6 ounces. It also comes with a 10-inch strip of the green leather lace and step-by-step instructions. It's available for $10 on my store. Links are in the description underneath this video. The materials that you're going to need for this leather pumpkin are this 5 to 6 ounce vegetable tanned leather. This is an 8x8 piece. You're going to need 10 inches of a leather lace, the green leather lace that comes with my kit. You're also going to need your pattern. You're going to need a pair of scissors. I use these leather working scissors, or a razor blade, whichever one you feel like you like cuts better. It's completely up to you. If you don't have leather working scissors or you don't have the strength, I recommend you use this razor blade. Another thing that you can get is a leather dye, and then you're going to want a leather sealer. I like to use tan coat for all my general sealers. As long as my leather's not getting super wet or weathered, then that's what I will use. But if you dye your leather, just keep in mind you're going to have to wait for it to dry for a long time. So the first thing that you're going to do is wet your leather. I've already wet mine, but I'm going to go ahead and get it a little bit more wet right here. And then you just kind of let it sit in and wait for it to take its take the wetness in. The reason why you wet your leather is because when you do take your design here, you're going to have to trace your design into the leather itself, and it does require the leather to be wet to accept the design. Oops, what is this? All right, get out of here. Okay, so this is the design. I think it's wet enough. Now the next thing I'm going to do, a stylus. You're going to need a stylus too. The next thing that we are going to do now is we're going to go ahead and trace this in here. Try not to let it move. And there we have our design nicely in here. I have just finished tracing it. So now the next step that we need to do is we need to cut our leather out. So I'm going to use my leather working scissors, but some of you may want to use a razor for this. I have just cut out the design for my leather pumpkin. It looks like a flower, but it's trust me, it'll turn into a very lovely pumpkin. The next thing that I'm going to do is shave off the top of these. Now, just keep in mind that when you do buy the kit from me, this will already come pre-cut and pre-done for you. So all you'll have to do really is put the pumpkin together. So now that we have our pumpkin design all cut out and ready to go, what we need to do is we're going to take our shaver. This little thing it's called a skiver, and we're just going to skive off the edges. Do keep in mind though that when you buy the kit from me, this will already be done for you. So we're going to go ahead and shave off our little ends. The reason why we want to do this is because when you do put the pumpkin together, the top, you don't want it to be stacked too deep. Like if it's too heavy on, or if it's got too many layers on top that are really thick, then it's going to look really weird. Okay, so there we have our pumpkin that's nice and skived a little bit. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to poke a hole right in the middle. So we're going to take, I personally am going to take one of these things. I use this pound pad. It's supposed to protect the bluntness of this blade right here. I'm sorry, of this hole here. So here we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pop a hole in the middle. There we go. The next thing that I'm going to do is I like to use these right here for poking a hole. So we're going to poke a hole at the tip of every single one of these little, I don't know, you want to call them leaves. And that's that. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paint my pumpkin. I'm going to paint it orange because obviously pumpkins are orange. Going to do is I'm going to take some black dye and I'm just going to do my edges with a black dye. Okay, so I've painted my edges, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of wait for it to dry a little bit, and I'm going to put a sealer on it. Ideally, you want to wait for this to dry. With acrylic paints, it doesn't take too long, so I'd say give it an hour to dry. If you're dyeing it, you want to wait overnight before you start doing anything else to it. The next thing that you're going to want to do is do your edges. I am going to use a paraffin wax and my edge burnisher. Okay, so I've burnished my edges and stuff like that, and now what I'm going to go ahead and do is put some tan coat on. This tan coat acts as a general sealer. Then after I'm finished with the pumpkin, I will take it outside and spray it with acrylic resin. The acrylic resin will give it more of a waterproof protection, but this is very good for at least right now. I accidentally got some black on this edge right here. Darn. Okay, so now that I have put the sealer on it, I'm going to go ahead and just let it rest for a minute before we start doing anything. But now what you can do while you're waiting for this to rest is you can go ahead and take your string, and what we're going to do now is we're going to tie a knot at the bottom of it. One little knot will work, but if you want to double knot it, you can double knot it too. That's really no big deal. I'll just go ahead, well, I don't really want to double knot it because it'll stop right there. Just one single knot like that will work just perfectly for it. There we go. Okay, now that our sealer has set in at least a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and thread this into here. So now we have kind of like an upside down flower. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take one of my leaves. Well, first of all, actually, let's see how long we want this. I want it to be about right here. Okay. So now I'm going to tie a knot about an inch and a quarter. This helps prevent the leaves from accidentally falling in on itself, and they'll stop right about here. Alright, so there you go. So now we have another knot that's tied in right there. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start threading this. So you just grab a leaf, whichever one you don't want to see the most, I suppose, And then you just start threading it. And then we'll take this side right here. We'll throw it right on top. All right, like that. And then we'll take this part right here and put it in here. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to take the opposite one right here. And then we're going to thread this in to here. Just like that. Pull it nice and tight. And then we'll take this one here. Right there. Pull it nice and tight too. And then the last but not least, this one right here. And we're going to pull that one nice and tight. Alright, get it nice and snug, okay? And then the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to tie a knot. You want to tie your knot, get it nice and snug, you know, to the knot that's down there. And because you're going to want to tie your knot as close as possible to the bottom. And it's very easy to do this wrong, but as close as possible to the top of your pumpkin. And there we have it. A very simple leather pumpkin. Isn't it just a doll? The cool thing is it doesn't stop with this little leather pumpkin, okay? You can make little hangy out of it. You can cut this off and just let it sit up like this. You can also add additional things to it, like you can add a leaf to it if you want, to make a leather leaf out of it. But this is your very simple leather pumpkin. No stitching required, no anything like that. It can sit on a desk and people will know exactly what it is on Halloween. So I'm going to go ahead and snip off the top of mine. We'll do it about right here. And just kind of let it have a little pumpkin stem. And then snip off the bottom of this. And ta-da! Now you have a little pumpkin. It's so cute. Mwah. And that concludes this tutorial of this adorable leather pumpkin. You can purchase leather dies and any additional supplies at any leatherworking supplier. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and head on over to my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Suchikuchi to watch some live leatherworking and